Hello and welcome to The Bike Show 2017. It's a new year, that means new episodes, so no more repeats. To start the new year, BMW, what do you think of when I say those three letters? Boxer engines and huge bikes. For example, the R1200 GS Adventure. It's the size of a battleship. The R1200 RT is the size of an aircraft carrier. Even BMW's smallest engine bike, the F700 GS, is still a big bike. And yes, for all those anoraks out there, I know they do the C650, but that's a scooter, not a motorbike. So for 2017, there is actually big news coming from BMW. Or should that be small news?
These are the tight, twisting canyons in the hills above Los Angeles. And this is the big new thing from BMW. Actually, it's a small new thing in the shape of the G310R. BMW's smallest production bike is designed as an efficient naked commuter and will allow new riders to get onto the bottom step of the BMW ladder much earlier in their riding careers. BMW keeps on racking up record sales years, but with an ambition to grow from last year's 150,000 up to 200,000 sales by 2020, well, that needs a new approach. Affordability is the name of the game here, so I'm not expecting too much in the way of sheer riding pleasure.
I was not expecting that. This is supposed to be a commuter, affordable, do-it-all kind of bike for the everyman. It's not meant to suit a mountain pass, is it? But I tell you what, this thing absolutely rocks. Some weird German ingenuity. BMW are good at this stuff. They've managed to make this feel like a really sharp handling sport bike. And all you sport bike riders, I know what you're thinking. Bleh, thin tyres, basic suspension. I mean, really? Can it be that good? Well, yes. I'm genuinely surprised. I thought they were a bit of a foolish bunch to be taking us to the canyons, but they know what they're doing. This bike absolutely rocks around the corners. It's a bit slow down the straights, but what do you expect from 34 horsepower? But I'm here to tell you, 34 is plenty when there's corners involved.
After another mad blast along roads that would have made a superbike a terrifying prospect, I get a chance to ask BMW Motorrad's head of design about his latest creation.
On the one hand, you want to have, of course, all the BMW DNA in it. That means everything West BMW on is its quality, its innovation, its technology, its safety, state of the art, of course. I would say this is, of course, a sports bike if you put it in the context of a non-performance or high-class biker. Because this bike is, like I said, for re-entries, for novice guys, for young guys, which are not so super experienced. And for them, I'm very sure this is a definitely top-performing bike. Yeah, actually, I call this bike a little bit of a time machine, because that reminds me on when I was 16, 18, or a young guy. This is how we used to ride.
Yes.
You know, we didn't have 100 horsepower, but you have to have a different riding. You have to find the line. You have to earn every corner.
Absolutely.
It's completely reminds me on my young days. It's absolute fun. So, I mean, it's easy for starting out, but you also can. I mean, we just did it in the Santa Monica Mountains here. You experienced it. It's so much fun, and you can really crank the thing out.
No matter which way you spin it, this is a simple motorbike engineered to do a simple job. So what ingredients has BMW used? The engine is a 313cc unit, notable mainly for its rear tilting single cylinder. It makes a par for the course 34 horsepower, with the expected spread of torque that singles always seem to bring to the party. It's a physically small engine though, and the positioning of the cylinder, that means there's room for a bit of a longer swing arm than usual, which gives the rear shock an easier time of it. The wheels look great, as does the bike as a whole to be fair, while the suspension manages, despite its lack of adjustability, to offer decent ride quality, even on LA's dodgy road surfaces. I spend only one short day with the G310R, not enough time to really get to know the bike, but enough to realise that this is going to be a serious player. assuming, of course, that the price is right.
Look, you seem quite impressed with it, but we have to ask this. I mean, this is the smallest bike BMW have ever made. Is it a real BMW?
That's a good question. But what is a real BMW?
I suppose you're looking at ultimate, absolute quality of every component used. You're looking at amazing fit and finish. You're looking at incredible thought given to the design process. Does it follow all those guidelines?
Then I'd have to say, you know what, yes, it's a BMW. It's just a small, affordable, practical BMW, and it's something they've never done before. I think where this whole quality thing comes in, it's like, they built this in partnership with TVS in India. OK, so you've got a separate part of a factory in India that's all under BMW control.
Yeah.
The inevitable naysayers go, quality's going to suffer, isn't it? Well, what's the parallel? 3 Series BMW cars made in South Africa. Can you tell the difference from
you
made
know.
in Germany? You wouldn't know.
So look,
and that's the same here.
What about the telltale signs, like the plastics and even like
Good quality.
the switchgear?
Good quality. At least as good or better than any of its competition at the moment. Look, the performance is what you'd expect. It's never going to set your pants on fire, but it does what it's supposed to do, has an entertaining little top end, the quality is there, but most importantly of all, the affordability is there, because remember, this has to pump BMW up to 200,000 units. That's the target
In
from
3 years.
150,000 now, yeah, absolutely.
Look, I mean, I suppose where it's built in India, in the Indian market and the sort of Asian markets, this is going to be an aspirational bike, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have to remember, it's a really good point, that just because maybe in Europe this may be somebody's first bike or a little cheap, efficient, reliable commuter to get from work and back, in the Far East or in certain countries, this is a seriously desirable product.
That BMW badge is going to elevate them.
It means a lot, it really does.
Well, look, we have to talk about this, and I think you were quite pleasantly surprised, but what's the price going to be?
Well, because it's a BMW...
It's going to be 100,000,
There's going to be a
it?
premium.
Yeah.
And unbelievably, look, we don't know the exact final figure, but I reckon you can guarantee on less than 70,000 Rand, possibly significantly less.
So that's less than $5,000, less than 70,000 Rand. That's insane. That is ridiculous.
Pretty much insane.
For a BMW with all the quality and all the thought of design, and it's less than 70,000.
What do they say? Big things come in small packages. Never a truer proverb spoken.
Any obvious rivals? Or do you not want to go that far?
I don't want to go that far, really. I think we'll reserve judgment. Yeah, what I can tell you is that, yes, it's definitely in there. Is it the best of a really competitive class? Quite possibly. But we'll have to wait. We'll get them all together in the next couple of months and we'll do the test and we'll tell you then.